Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? Welcome back. It's a beautiful Wednesday evening right now, and James Cook got paid today, so we got some news to jump into. You know I'm a Bills fan, so we got to cover it as well. My thoughts on Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders this season, and wrapping things up, talking about Patriots training camp and their joint practice from today where they absolutely dominated. You know the drill. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, do your thing. I've appreciated all the support that I've gotten over this past month. We are really grinding and getting ready for the season, making sure everything's consistent for you, bringing the best content possible. This really is my baby. This podcast, I cherish it. I love it. I do my best to bring you the top quality and content, so I always appreciate the love. Even if it's a hate comment, drive up that engagement. I always appreciate it. And without further ado, let's hop right into the episode with our first topic of the night, the big one, James Cook. 4 years, $48 million, $12 million annually for James Cook from the Buffalo Bills. I think it's a great contract. Now, let me preface, I talked earlier this week or last week about James Cook and the contract situation. I wasn't wanting to give James Cook the bag. I didn't want him getting $20 million, $18 million, $16 million up in the Henry CMC Saquon Barkley range when he was only playing 50% of our snaps. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I'm looking at it. The Bills got James Cook at a really solid price. $12 million per year, that's really, really good. Look, in an ideal world, it would have been closer to $10 million. But I'm grateful it wasn't in the 14 to 16 million range or above. Because I don't think at that point it would be worth it. He's had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons and scored 18 total touchdowns for us last year. So he's an important part of our offense. And it's good for Josh Allen to lean on someone when he can't do everything by himself. Because at the end of the day, it's not an individual sport. We need some teammates to do something, even though Josh Allen does carry the majority of our offense's success. So when you look at the Bills and where they've succeeded and where they've maybe failed over the past few years, the Bills lose when they deviate away from the run game. They need to lean on the run game as much as possible, because the run game is evidently their strength. The offensive line is great. And Josh Allen's ability to run, to move with his legs and make things happen on the ground makes this run game that much more dangerous and efficient. And with James Cook back there, who's very talented, he can go to work and he can make things happen. So we need to lean on that. Joe Brady's got to do the best job possible to make James Cook into a 3-down back and have him on the field as much as possible. Because that run game is what drives this offense, especially with no more Stephon Diggs, which was fine last year. We made the AFC Conference Championship. We were good. It was the defense, in my opinion, that's always been the issue with McDermott. But this offense, to continue chugging along at a successful rate, needs to lean on the run game. We do have to say a big thank you to Kyren Williams, because Kyren Williams saved the Bills from paying James Cook the absolute bag. Kyren Williams took a team-friendly deal at $11 million per year with the Rams, which held the James Cook contract down to $12 million per year with us. That was huge. And the second I saw that Kyren Williams contract, I knew we were in business. Because otherwise we were paying, again, in that $14, $16, $18 million range, which was extremely dangerous, especially for a running back that's only on the field half the time. With that being said, too, mentioning that, now that James Cook has his money, he's locked down for 4 years here in Buffalo, I think it's important that we discuss his snap share and his usage for the prime of his career now. At minimum, James Cook needs to be a 65% snap share running back. And I don't want to overshadow the great running back depth that we have with Ray Davis and Ty Johnson, but James Cook needs to improve in the passing game. Pardon me, not just the passing game, but in the run blocking game. I think he needs to be better in protection, and he needs to give us more of an option on third down. James Cook needs to be a third down back now that we've paid him. Simply put, and I don't think that's too much to ask, we just need a reliable guy that we can count on third down situations, and we don't got a new running back subbing into the game when it's the AFC Conference Championship, and I want my dogs out there. I want my $12 million running back out there when the game's on the line in the playoffs. I want to see James Cook. I want him to improve his pass protection. That should be a focal point moving forward. Joe Brady should do everything possible to help the development of James Cook over the next few years and get him on the field as much as possible. So, again, I feel very confident with James Cook in the backfield. I really like our running back depth, and I think the contract, although it was a few million more than I would have liked in a perfect world, it's an ideal situation considering the market, right? You look at the top paid running backs in the league right now. I'll list them out for you. Number 1, Saquon Barkley at $20 million per year. Number 2, Christian McCaffrey at $19 million per year. Number 3, Derrick Henry at $15 million per year. 4, Jonathan Taylor at $14 million. 5, Kamara at $12 million. 6, Josh Jacobs at $12 million. 7, James Cook now at $12 million. And 8, like I mentioned, Kyren Williams at $11 million per year. So that makes a whole lot of sense to me, right? James Cook is getting paid Josh Jacobs and Alvin Kamara money, but he's not in the range of Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, and Saquon Barkley, which makes a ton of sense to me. Until he can prove that he's an every down back and he's an absolute game changer, we can't give him the Saquon Barkley benefits. But he's still a valuable piece to our offense, and I'm extremely happy to have him back in Buffalo. Now, speaking of running backs, Ashton Jeanty is one of our topics today. And as we all know, he went 6th overall to the Raiders. Not often do you see a running back going so high in the draft, but he did have a really incredible college season. Don't want to miss that at all. I want to give him credit for that. And I expect him to be a dog in the NFL. But with that being said, Ashton Jeanty was the wrong pick for the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't think he was the right fit. They bought a Lambo to drive in traffic. I just don't think he was the right pick at 6th overall for this franchise. And I don't think you can change my mind. I haven't heard an argument that has yet. When you break it down, in my opinion, when I think about the NFL and run games and offenses, I'm taking an elite offensive line over an elite running back every single day of the week. By far. Not even close. You can't buy the Ferrari and not pave the driveway. Just doesn't make sense. You got to pave the driveway first, lay down the foundation, then you can get the nice toys, the trinkets, the luxuries. The Raiders rank as the 18th best offensive line by PFF heading into the season. If we think Ashton Jeanty's going to have this breakout Saquon Barkley year behind that offensive line, I think you're a fool. I think it's extremely naive to expect that out of Ashton Jeanty in his rookie season with that offensive line. The Raiders' O-line ranked 22nd in run block win rate in 2024. And yes, there were injuries, but the same starting group is returning this year for the Raiders. When I think of the Raiders, I think of a franchise that has been rebuilding for quite a while now. Their secondary and linebackers are a disaster. Max Crosby is 1 of 11 on defense, and he can't do it all. So I'm taking a corner or linebacker every single day of the week before a running back. Priorities, people, they matter. And in my opinion, when I'm constructing a roster, what I've seen from successful teams, running backs are at the bottom of the priority list. I've said it multiple times. I said it earlier on in the year. A lot of people didn't like what I said. Doesn't mean run games aren't valuable. They are. When you get to the playoffs, it's a massive asset to have a run game that you can rely on. I just preached about it with the Buffalo Bills. But A, you don't need an elite running back to have an elite run game. Starts with the offensive line. And B, usually that comes at the end of building your roster. You got your defense set up. You got your O-line, your franchise quarterback. Then you can add in the luxury players, your running back, just like the Eagles did with Saquon Barkley. And this is no hate to Ashton Jeanty. Again, incredible college season last year. Deserved to be picked high. Deserved to get the recognition. I just don't think where the Raiders are at, it made sense to spend that draft capital on a running back. For an undersized guy at 5'8", the expectation is that he walks in and tears the roof off and has a monster rookie season. I just think it's unrealistic. And the Raiders gave up a really valuable 6th overall pick where they could have helped out their defense, helped out their offensive line. And I think it was a mistake to go and get Jeanty. I think the fool's gold intrigued them, and they bid on it, and they're going to pay the price. I was talking to Deshaun today off screen, and he even told me he thinks Ashton Jeanty over the next few years might even be viewed as a bust, and that's not even an Ashton Jeanty problem, but it's the Raiders not being in the right place as a rebuilding franchise to supplement him with the pieces, the O-line, the team, for him to truly succeed and put the best on film. Look at guys like Travion Henderson and Cam Scadaboo. Both went later in the draft, but will still give their teams value at a fraction of the cost. Look, if the Raiders were contending for a Super Bowl this year and they saw Ashton Jeanty in the draft, I would say yes. Makes a lot of sense. And the common excuse, the Raiders have no run game. Well, no shit. That all starts with the offensive line. And if that's not figured out, I don't see the run game succeeding. Unless Ashton Jeanty is prime Derrick Henry this year, prime Christian McCaffrey comes in and doesn't matter what the O-line does, I find it hard to believe he will surpass or even meet the expectations most people have laid out for him. Now, I'm rooting for him. I hope he does well. I hope he proves me wrong. I just don't think it was the right pick for the Raiders, to be brutally honest with you. Speaking of Travion Henderson, let's move over to the Patriots, our last topic of the day. Look, I have been so damn high on this Patriots team all season long. The Patriots are the most improved team heading into the season. They should be viewed as a legit playoff threat. Seriously, I start every single one of my videos saying the same thing because every week I get to add to my points because I see what's being put on film. I see the film at practice. I hear the reviews about the team. I hear people talking about them. There's a lot to like in New England. People should be scared that the New England Patriots are building another dynasty. They're a really, really good football team this year. I truly believe it. With Mike Vrabel there, I love the kind of coach he is. I love the way he runs the operation. Loved it in Tennessee. Now he is coaching for the team that he played for. Match made in heaven. Travion Henderson might be the best rookie running back this season. They got him at the fraction of the cost that the Raiders got Jeanty, like I just said, and this is what I mean. He's a bigger running back who's explosive and a fraction of the cost of Ashton Jeanty. The Raiders could have got a running back like Travion Henderson later in the draft, but decided to spend the early capital on him when I think it's unnecessary. Drake May was on fire today against Minnesota in a joint practice. Stephon Diggs, at 31 years old, coming off a season-ending injury, had DBs in a blender at joint practice on Wednesday against the Vikings. They were lost in the sauce. If he gets 120 or more targets, Stephon Diggs is going for 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. They will feed him until he's done. Until he's absolutely full, until there's nothing else to give. Stephon Diggs will be the primary focus of this offense with Drake May, and teams should be scared. A guy that's 31, turning 32 in November, should not look that good coming off a season-ending injury. His routes, crisp, fluid, late hands. He looks incredible. I honestly did not expect this out of a guy coming off an injury that extreme this late in his career. And the connection with Drake May, it's giving me top 10 vibes for this season. And then, oh my gosh, just give me 1 second. Don't even get me started. And I mean, don't even get me started on Ashton Chisholm. First Edelman, Chris Hogan, Danny Amendola. Now you got Ashton Chisholm balling out for the New England Patriots. Another crafty slot white receiver that's gritty and just runs every single route in the books. If this guy pans out, man, this franchise must be feeding these white guys something special. I've never seen so much white receiver success in the NFL. And the Patriots just make it look like another day in the office. So I'm just in love with the talent that's on this team. Like I said, Patriots are by far the most improved team this year, and I'd watch out for them in the playoffs. I thought that they balled out this week at joint practice against the Vikings. They dominated the Commanders in preseason. Sure, it's just preseason, but posting 48 points carries some weight. Like, you'd have to think that matters just a little bit and gives us a little insight into what this team just might look like this season. I love the fit with Vrabel. I love the pieces they've added in free agency and the draft. I think the Patriots are in it to win it over the next few years. That's a wrap on today's episode. I appreciate you for tuning in. As always, catch us later this week with a ton more content coming your way. As always, guys, it's been a pleasure. Peace out.